Thinking about trying out a matchmaking site but don't want everyone to know you're looking? Especially not your well-meaning auntie whose mission is to push her perfect match at every family meeting? At halfardeen.com, your profile is only visible to paying members of our site, people who are here for the same reason you are, to find their ideal match for marriage. So you can post your profile and browse with confidence, without dear auntie peering over your shoulder. halfardeen.com, where your profile is safe from prying eyes.
Men and women show their love in different ways. Women are better at expressing their feelings and they're known for their communication skills. Men, on the other hand, are not known for their communication skills, so they don't all necessarily know how to show their feelings. I like love? No. I can't say it. Since most men lack in the area of showing their feelings, instead they try to do things to show their love. I shall walk the wildest deserts, swim the deepest sea, climb the highest mountain, all for you, my love. All for you. But the problem is, by the time you finish doing all that, she's probably got tired of waiting and she left. Have you seen my love? She was just here a few months ago, but for some reason she's not here. Well, if you see her, tell her I'll be back. That her love is looking for her. What women find more valuable is making them feel loved. I do make her feel loved. Just 2 months ago, I gave her flowers. She needs to be reminded more than once every few months that you love her. Why? The evidence is right here. I kept a receipt just in case. I'm keeping it for a tax write-off. I don't know if that's a tax write-off, but what I do know is that women like to be reminded more than once every 3 months that you actually like them. If you want a small piece of advice, it's this. On a daily basis, remind your wife by showing her that you love her. It can be something as small and simple as a text message, an email, a hug, or even a kiss. Just a small kiss? What are you doing? I was just practicing. As for men, they need to be reminded on how much you actually appreciate them. As I said earlier, a man shows his love by doing things for his wife. So it means the world to him when you acknowledge his efforts and you tell him how much you appreciate everything he does for you. That actually inspires him to work harder to make you happy. On the flip side, the opposite occurs when a wife doesn't show her husband that she actually appreciates him. And when that occurs, the husband's perspective is that his wife doesn't appreciate him and his efforts are wasted and he starts to feel distant from her. It all comes down to a wife feels great when she knows she's being loved. And a husband feels great when he knows he's being appreciated. Now, I'm not saying that women don't want to be appreciated and men don't want to feel loved, but I'm just trying to show where the priorities are and what's the most important thing for each gender. Of course, my videos are general and there's always exceptions to the rule. So you take everything with a grain of salt. But generally, this is how it works. Men like to feel appreciated and women like to feel loved. Simple as that. Oftentimes, an argument occurs just because of simple miscommunication. A wife may make a statement and her husband translate that statement as a complaint. And for whatever reason, men translate complaints as, she doesn't appreciate me. Just like a woman would translate the lack of attention as, he doesn't care or he doesn't love me. For example, let's say a woman gets married and she relocates to her husband's new home. The transition phase can be quite difficult because everything is new. New friends, new location, new neighbors, a whole new life. For many women, being away from loved ones can be quite stressful at first. So she becomes homesick and tells her husband, I miss being home, I miss being around my friends, I miss my family, I wish we lived closer to them, etc., etc., etc. Her husband translates these statements as complaints and he responds, you knew we were going to move here, you knew where you were going to live, you knew you were not going to live next to your parents, so I don't understand why you're complaining now. She would respond that you're not listening to me and I'm not complaining. Why don't you listen to me? And then the argument begins. He feels distant because he's trying everything he can to try and make her happy, but no matter what, he feels like she just is emotional and she's sad and he gives up. He feels distant. He's like, I can't do anything. I can't do anything. All I hear is complaints, complaints, complaints. On the other side, she feels distant from him because he's not listening and because he's not trying to understand how she's feeling. This whole issue could be avoided if the husband tries to understand that every statement is not a complaint and sometimes she just needs to vent. And if he just sits down and listens to her, comforts her, it'll make her feel happy, and when she feels happy, he'll be happy, and all this unnecessary argument could be avoided. On the flip side, if she can make her statement clear, like, I'm not mad at you, I'm not complaining, I just need to vent and I just need to get it off my chest. If you can just listen to me, it'll make me feel so much better. That'll remind him that it's nothing personal against him and it'll help avoid any kind of miscommunication. As most of you know, I built a new website called Házasságról, which we're trying to help Muslims find their ideal match in a private and affordable way. And what's more important than finding each other is for them to stay together after they do. And I make these videos with the hopes that I can help couples figure each other out. Some people may not understand the importance of making these marriage videos, but I hope one day when they get married, they will, inshallah. But because I don't see any such videos being made, I feel like I need to. As I said, my goal for Házasságról is not just to help you find each other, but for you to stay married after you find each other. And that's why I make these videos with the hopes that people figure each other out, they don't divorce and get in arguments over silly things, and inshallah there's more tranquility in their marriage. And I don't get paid for making these videos, these are all done as a volunteer basis. Only Allah knows how much of an impact these videos will eventually make, but I really hope that if the videos are successful, then more and more couples will stay together and less divorces will occur. And if you'd like to help, feel free to post my videos on your blog, forum, Facebook. Hopefully, inshallah, it will reach to the eyes and the ears of those who may be going through some difficulties.